we're back with another episode of the Heat Tank. Hamid Yaz here, bringing you all kinds of cool diversity stemming from Austin, Texas, and getting out there into cyberspace. Today on the show, we have the beautiful Candace Perez of Parties by Perez, okay? She has been about a year and a half, almost 2 years now, event after event after event. When she first caught my attention, I said, I need to get her on the show because she does so many different types of events, and how she got started is actually really interesting. I'm going to let her introduce herself. We'll start getting into it and go from there on this episode of The Heat Tank.
Hey, how exciting. I'm very happy to be here.
Yes, I'm very happy that you're here because you are would it be considered a party planner or?
I would say at this point, like, complete event production.
Okay.
Yeah, because I do it all.
Damn.
I bring I do more than just plan and coordinate. I bring all the pieces together, execute it. I do it all.
Damn. Okay, so how exactly did you fall into the whole party planning? Because I see there's a lot of people out there that are party planners or wedding planners or whatever it is, but why did this specific industry catch your attention, and how did you get into it first off?
Okay. Well, since birth. No, I'm super organized. I always have been.
Okay.
Living in Austin, we have so much going on all the time.
There
is always something going on. I'm a busybody. I like to be out and about. So really just going to a bunch of events and seeing that I was really interested in that. And I like to do that. I was kind of passionate about it. And then, just planning little get-togethers here and there for families. I was always the host. I'm still always the host. If someone has a birthday party, a birthday, any type of celebration,
like,
a baby shower, like, it's at my house. Like, all holidays, like, it's all at my house.
That's
I'm
cool,
like,
though.
I got this, guys. Just come on over. Bring the food because I don't cook. You bring that. I have everything else ready.
But do your friends or family look at you as like, let Candace handle it? Or is it kind of where you take the initiative to, let me do it for you guys? Or do they already know that you're the one?
I pretty much take the initiative.
Okay.
Because I'm all about it. And it's fun for me. I love to do it. That's pretty much how it started, the little baby pieces.
Okay.
And whenever I had children, it was the same.
Yeah.
I would always take them out. And really, it was going to events and not being happy, like being let down. Like, oh, man, they hyped this up. So the first, I don't know.
Is that like, well, let me ask you, is that like the guys here in Austin, they have a flyer for an event downtown. They put the girl with the whatever on the flyer. You get there and nobody looks like what's on the flyer? Or?
Absolutely. It was exactly
I see.
that. It's like, that was a little misleading. Like, y'all made it seem like it was going to be a lot of fun. And it was like, okay, this is a waste of time and money. And so, we go to this event.
Okay.
It was a holiday event.
This is before your company started. Okay.
This is before I started. This is whenever, let me back it up a little bit. So at work, super bored at work.
Yeah.
I've been doing it for 13 years. I'm an optician. And I'm like, I got to take on different projects. Like, give me something else to do. So I took on the leadership role of the employee club. Okay. So with that, people donate their money. And like every paycheck, money goes into this account.
Their money.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, every paycheck, $4 goes into this account. And
I've never heard of that. It's actually
it's pretty cool.
That's kind of cool. Yeah.
It is. And so, I plan different events for us throughout the year. Plan this huge holiday party. And I already had in my mind, like, this is what I want to do. I want to plan. I want to do big events like this. I want to do corporate events. Mm-hmm. And so that I kind of use as like, okay, I'm just going to build my portfolio, keep doing this. Yeah. Like,
on someone else's dime.
On someone else's dime. Yes. Yeah, exactly.
Very
it's
important.
The best.
Other people's money.
Like, let's go above and beyond. Like, we got the money. There's no budget here, really.
Swipe that card. Who knows if money's on it? Just swipe it.
Exactly. So it was that, and then it was going to more events and networking. Like, well, how did y'all get, how did y'all get to be in this event? Like,
I see.
Networking, getting into the right groups, meeting the right people. Me and the boys, like I said, we went to this event.
Okay.
And it was a complete letdown. I was like, I thought this was going to be a lot bigger, more
Kids
extravagant.
Event type of thing.
Yeah. So at the end, they gave us this questionnaire. And they're like, how could we have improved this event? So I'm like, well, this, that. I mean, I came up with like, a list. Like, let me get this notebook out.
Oh, so you're that lady.
No, I mean, I guess being a planner, like I critique.
Yeah, of course.
And I'm like, oh, I would have done that.
Yeah.
Or, that could have been better. Or, oh, they should have done it this way instead. And just naturally. And I was like, you know what? Like, I'm just going to do this. Like, I'm not going to hand this in. I'm going to do my own event. And I'm going to make it a success. And it's going to be so much fucking fun.
That's all good.
Yeah, it's going to be amazing. It's going to be incredible. People are going to love it. And it was really scary for me at first. So at first, I got in with just doing weddings. Like, okay, I'm going to be a wedding planner.
Yeah.
And
which is a whole nother headache in itself, right?
Yes. Big
Way
headache.
more intense, I believe.
It really is. But, there are so many wedding venues and just everybody falling in love here in Austin.
Yeah,
so I feel like that was the easiest thing to get into was weddings. So I did weddings, quinceañeras, some open houses. What else have I done? Some other little pop-ups.
Was your company formed by this time that you're doing all this, or were you still not officially Parties by Perez?
It was official.
Okay.
It was official. I had decided, like, okay, I'm going to do this. I came up with the name. It's simple, but, it's hard coming up with a business name.
Oh, yeah.
It really is.
But it's memorable, Party by Perez.
Yeah, I
Perez.
feel like, it has a ring to it. Like, it's fine. So went with that and just started networking like crazy and just getting myself out there. And, throwing my name out and just kind of on social media a lot.
Yeah.
It's like getting into different groups and just throwing my name out there. Oh, hey, I can help you.
Yeah.
And kind of just like tagging along a lot. And I've done a lot of free work too.
Yeah.
Just to get the exposure and to get the experience. But it's been a lot of fun. But then let's see. So I started with the private events, and that's like, the weddings, quinceañeras, corporate events, and meetings, stuff like that. And although that's fun, and I feel like I execute them very well, and they're always satisfied, I wasn't being able to be as creative as I wanted to be.
Okay,
so this is still someone else's party. Like, I want to throw my own party.
They're paying and they have their vision.
They have their vision.
Whether they know what they want or whether it's jacked up, it doesn't matter.
Yes.
That's what they think that they want, right?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. So it was their vision. It was their ideas. And really, I feel like when you get into weddings, it's pretty much all the same.
Yeah.
When it comes down to it. I mean, there might be a couple fun little unique things, but for the most part, it's like,
same format.
It's routine. Yeah, same format. So I'm like, I want to do my own events. I want to sell tickets to the general public. And I did it. I just went for it. And my first event was last December.
Okay.
It was a family-friendly event. And actually what turned out to originally be like maybe 100 people at the studio in East Austin. I sold out my tickets.
Damn.
And people were hitting me up like on Facebook,
what
emailing
kind of event
me.
Was it, by the way? I'm sorry?
It was Breakfast with the Grinch.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was a family-friendly event, and it was also a charity event.
I see.
So I was going to take the funds and give them to Partnerships for Children.
Okay.
And they work directly with CPS. And so I thought it was an amazing cause. And that's the one thing that I wanted to stay with. Like, if I'm doing these events and I'm making money, like, I want to make sure it's going to a good cause. Like, obviously, I want to, pay myself and make money off of this. But I also want to do it for the right reasons.
Exactly, yeah.
So,
that was
crazy.
Charitable contribution, we'll call
yes,
it.
absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, I love it. And I also feel like that helps me be successful because it's like it's all being guided the right way and it's going to work. Yeah. So I sold out. People were freaking out. They were like in my DMs. They were emailing me. They were texting me because I have my cell on my Instagram and my Facebook. People were messaging me like, how can I get tickets? Like, what can we do? Which I'm like, people, why do you wait till the last minute? Like I said, I've been posting like, regularly,
but
like giving you an update. Some people might have just
found out about it though. That's the thing.
That's true. Yes.
I'm going to tell you why. So I had a guy the other day was having a workshop. Guy randomly calls me.
Yeah.
Okay. I have no clue. Speaking Spanish, I don't know where he got my number from, and he was an all-Spanish speaker. He just said, hey, how can I register for the event? I'm like, okay, I'll text you the link.
Yeah.
But I don't have no clue where he came. I should have asked.
Like where he saw it and like what, yeah.
But plan on that continuing to happen more and more, because sometimes people will just hand somebody their friend or their tia, hey, hit this girl up. She's got something that you and your kids might like. Okay, cool. And then you get this random text or call, and you're like, all right, you just got to answer accordingly.
There were a couple of those, yeah, for sure. I had this one lady call me, and she was like, is this the Perez party? And I'm like, hi, how can I help you? It was like an older Hispanic lady. And she was like, my son was telling me about this event and he wants to take my grandson. Can you just tell me about it? She was so sweet.
That's cool though. Yeah, yeah.
I was like, yes, of course. I ended up like hooking her up. I'm like, I'm gonna get you a discount just because you're so sweet.
No, that's cool though.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was really cool. So I sold out, had to move to a larger venue. Mm-hmm. And I mean, I learned so much from that event. So I had to move to a larger venue. I ended up selling about 450 tickets.
Oh, damn.
And it was huge. It was crazy.
But it was only supposed to be 100?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It was originally only supposed to be 100 people.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And people, I mean, some people had a couple people complain like, oh, you're just moving it to a bigger venue to make more money or this and that or like whatever. And I'm like, it was such a good idea to move it to a different venue because what I had imagined and what I had wrote out, like the layout and like logistics, like with that many people, with even 100 people, it wouldn't have worked at the other place.
I see. Yeah.
Like I was so happy and I was so thankful for the people that I worked with, the venue owners, because they offered it to me, the larger space, for the same price.
Really?
And that venue could hold 700 people.
Wow.
And they were so gracious about it. I mean, it was perfect. It was great.
Damn.
And it was wild. So the only bad thing, it was December 8th, I want to say. That was the event. And that was literally like the one day of the year that it was so fucking cold outside.
Out of nowhere, right?
It was freezing. Oh my gosh. And so the venue that we were at, it's enclosed, but it's open.
Okay.
So it was cold.
How many people showed up?
No, everybody showed up.
Oh, damn.
Everybody showed up. And I was like, you know what? This event is from 9 to 1. People are going to come and go. It's going to be fine. No, everybody like rushed in at the same time. So it was a little wild. It had its moments. But obviously I'm like, okay, well, I could have done this better. Next time I know for this, you know.
Yeah.
You know, you live and you learn. But it was fantastic.
How many people did you have helping you for that event?
Oh, wow.
Me and me.
No. Well, day of, I mean, that morning, I was like...
At the physical event, how many people were on hand?
I want to say I had at least 15 people.
Oh, that's cool. That's good. That's really good.
Yeah, so, well, the charity that I had, that I partnered with, they ended up giving me like 10 volunteers.
Oh, that's awesome.
It was awesome, yeah. So they came in, they were doing registration, they were working... the coffee table, the hot cocoa table, like all the different stations they were helping me out with. And then I had, family helping me too, working some of the stations, friends helping me out. Mm-hmm. It was, at least 15 people.
Was it, let me ask you this. So did you run any type of paid Facebook, Instagram ads, or was it kind of organic or?
I definitely spent at least, maybe a couple $100 in Facebook ads. Mostly Facebook ads. I didn't really... I feel like for events, it's better marketing for Facebook.
The sharing capability...
Yeah, exactly.
I think is easier on Facebook because it's literally one click.
Yeah.
Compared to get an app and then do this with the app and do this and do that.
It's too much.
Or just tagging somebody. But on Facebook, sharing capability is much easier.
Right.
Eventually, I'm hoping Instagram, because they really should, have literally a built-in button... To share just as easy as it is on Facebook.
It's so easy on Facebook,
Yeah. So now let me ask you this, though. So with everything that you did with this specific first event, do you think you got more, it became more popular because of Facebook ads or because of the organic reach where people were sharing it on their own? Or what did you personally see?
Well, I had like over 200 shares on that, which was huge.
Yeah.
And honestly, I think it was a lot of organic because, well, I did so much marketing. I mean, I made flyers and it was my first event. So I had so much support from a lot of my followers, a lot of my friends. So they all shared it, had their friends share it.
That's cool.
And it was huge. Yeah. But I also, I printed out like a ton of flyers. I took them, like I know somebody that works at the school where my son goes, gave them out to all of them. My brother's girlfriend works at this daycare, gave them to all of them. I mean, flyers were everywhere. Damn. I'm like, I want this to be everywhere. Yeah. So I did a lot of marketing for that, and I feel like it really did pay off. Not as quickly as I would have hoped, but in the end, people are starting to notice. I feel like, people procrastinate and they wait to buy their tickets and
the day of.
Exactly.
The day of.
I had a couple people that were there kind of like all along and like had noticed it right away and were really into it. Mm-hmm. And I mean, that worked out great. The weather was bad. It was really cold.
It happens.
But I feel like, this is a Christmas event. It kind of works out good.
What's funny?
It sets the mood.
Just the snow. Remember, it snowed in 2018? 2018.
Yes.
Yeah,
I can't remember if it was like the beginning of the year or the end of the year, but yes.
I think it was right before, 2017 maybe. I don't remember. Anyways, I was at a food trailer. I had a dessert business, and I'm at my trailer, and then someone texted me. They said, "Yo, it's about to start snowing." And I was like, yeah, okay, whatever, right? Next thing you know, it's like snowing hard. Yeah. And I was like, what? That. And at the time, I was running I think it was s'mores and a hot cocoa for $1. It was the ad that I had of the week.
Yeah.
Literally a hot s'mores, nice and gooey, and a hot cocoa for $1. And I was like, man, I need to close up. People ain't going to show up. But then I was like, wait, I don't want to close up because I want to do live streams of the snow, right? Yeah. So I'm doing these like IG video, whatever I was doing, I forget. I'm doing that, and then people are still showing up, and I'm like,
really?
Wait, what are they showing up for? And they're like, yeah, we want the hot cocoa deal. Like, woman with like 6 kids in the back, and we drove in the snow.
Actually, it's $10 now.
What is?
Well, no, like you telling them, like, no, actually, I just changed the price.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry, ma'am. That was like the last hour.
Yes.
That was the other weather price.
Only, yes.
No, but it's interesting how people will still show up regardless of whatever's going on.
True.
And I remember doing a farmer's market. Of course, this was a year or 2 years ago. And it was slated to be 45 degrees or 40 degrees that day. And my dad, he's, very,
the cold weather.
We won't say negative, but he's not a very positive person. Like, he wants things the easy way, put it like that. So what happened was he goes, don't go to the farmer's market. No one's going to show up. It's going to be 40 degrees. I'm like, no, it's okay. Don't do it. That was the busiest day I had.
Really?
All these people at the farmer's market showed up with their big jackets and earmuffs and all whatever. And I literally, I don't know if I sold out, but I think I pulled in like $500 within like 2 hours.
Yeah.
Selling little desserts.
I love it.
And I was like, oh, this was awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, because when people are destined to be somewhere, they show up.
Yeah, nothing's going to stop them.
Very, very true. That's very, very true. So let me ask you, so that was the first event. What did you actually learn from that event? Okay, a few things that were very, for the way you do business now, critical takeaways that you're like, oh, maybe I should have thought about that. Or, oh, I overlooked that. Or whatever it is. What are things that now you've lived and learned from that first event?
Several things. It was such a good learning experience. One, I would say go with my gut, go with my instinct. There was a lady that was a vendor that got added onto the event, and I already had what she was offering. But I'm like, well,
you already had it booked.
I already had a spot. I already had a spot for that vender.
So let's just say it's cupcakes. Let's just say it's cupcakes.
Yes, I already had someone doing cupcakes.
And you wouldn't want another cupcake person.
Well, I was right, and I'm like, well, I already have a cupcake person.
But how did they get on the event though?
Well, she just wanted to be a part of it. So I'm like, well, that's fine. But just so you know, I have another person doing cupcakes. She's like, oh, that's okay. That's fine.
So did the first person know that the second person was going to show up?
I let her know. Yeah. She knew.
Oh, okay.
Which actually was a great thing because we had so many people.
I see. Okay.
But she was kind of like, she was causing problems. And she was complaining. And I had originally told her, hey, we got this other lady. But if you want to be part of it, that's fine. But know that we already have that.
Yeah, so she's like the negative Nancy.
Oh my gosh, so much drama. So later when I'm like posting on my vendors, I ended up posting that vendor first. She was my first vendor.
I see.
And she was like, why did you post her? And this and that. And she just threw a fit.
Really?
And yeah, and then she wanted to be a part of the whole planning process. I'm like, listen, you're a vendor and you go where I tell you. Yeah, exactly. Like you just go where I tell you.
That's crazy.
And that's it. Like you kind of knew that I already had someone. You're going to be an additional person. And it was a lot of drama. And I wanted to just tell her, you know what? I don't need you. I can find someone else that's going to bring cupcakes in 15 minutes on Facebook. I can find I can find 10 more people in the next 5 minutes.
Cookies or whatever
I don't need you to be a part of it.
Yeah.
So I talked it over with my venue manager, and she was like, going over the messages. She was like, you know what? She's going to be a pain. Yeah. Just keep her. Let's just keep her. Try to make her happy. Nothing made her happy.
Really?
Nothing made her happy.
Is she still in
she was
business
the
doing what
biggest
she does
stressor.
now, or no?
Yes, I had to block this woman.
Wow.
Because I was like, why are you contacting me? Like, what are you talking about? Like, you crazy lady. But I feel like I should have just trusted my gut. Like, I should have just cut her off right then and there. Yeah. Because it kind of created like a bigger problem. Also, like working with people that I worked with before that I already have relationships with.
I see.
Just kind of keeping that going. What else did I learn? I got my first critic,
like
so
a Yelp review type of thing? Or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I had a troll. And
like a negative troll? Or?
A negative troll, for sure. And that was really hard for me because I put in so much work. Yeah. And it was so hard. I mean, I didn't sleep. Like, everyone, all my vendors, they put in so much work. It was like nonstop for them. This was going to a good cause. Like, this was really huge. This was pivotal for me.
And someone just wanted to hate just to hate.
Yeah.
You think it was that lady?
It wasn't. It was a different lady. And see, here's the thing. Like, I actually talked to her.
You confirmed it.
No, I talked to the lady at the event. So she was upset. She wasn't happy. The troll lady.
Okay.
She was upset because her children, they weren't having fun. She's like, I paid this money to come in here, and it's just not worth it. I'm like, well, did y'all go get your face painted? My kids didn't want to. Well, did y'all get a balloon? Like, we didn't want to wait in line. I'm like, well, did y'all take a picture with the Grinch? Like, my kids got scared. Okay, like, did y'all get food and hot cocoa? Yeah. Okay.
What was she expecting?
Exactly.
Macy's Day Parade
I'm like,
or something?
Listen, lady. It wasn't my event because everything that I said was going to be there was there.
Yes.
My event was fun. Your kids were boring. Like, I have kids.
Yeah.
And they can bring it down. Like, you know what I mean? They can, like, ruin the fun.
Yeah.
It wasn't me. It was your kids. I was like, we have a petting zoo. She's like, well, that line's too long and I'm ready to go.
Bye.
I know. I'm just like, what can I do to make you happy? Like,
did she want a refund or?
I didn't know what she wanted. And so I ended up giving her some gift cards.
I see.
And so I'm like, okay.
To the next event.
I saw that. Yeah, exactly. No.
Weren't happy with this one? Come back to another one.
Not at all. No, I had these gift cards that were donated, and I was giving them to all my volunteers. And I'm like, well, let me give these to her. I gave her like 4 or 5, however many tickets she bought. I'm like, okay, this should like make her happy, whatever. No, she still went on my page, went on my stories,
my goodness.
Left a review, and I couldn't believe it. I was like heartbroken. I'm like, I was so offended also because I'm like, lady, I addressed this issue.
Were you able to comment back? Okay.
I was. And I took like a day to do it because I was all in my feelings.
Exactly.
I'm like, I was in tears. I was like bawling. I'm like, I can't believe this fucking bitch.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, it happens.
And I'm like, it wasn't my event. Your kids are boring. Like, what do you mean to do?
Yep.
And so I learned that I'm not going to ever make everyone happy. There's some people that are just miserable.
Yeah.
I actually had 2 people that were kind of like trolling a little bit.
Yeah.
This one lady, she was really upset whenever I moved venues. And she sent me this nasty email. Oh, my goodness. Even she was
but at least
like,
it was directly to you rather than the internet can see
That's
it all
true.
around.
Yeah, it was so nasty. I couldn't even read the whole thing. And I was just like, wow. And then she DM'd me as well, like a normal person, like, talking regularly, like, oh, hey, like, since you changed venues, like, I don't really want to go anymore. Can I have my money back? So I'm just like, I'm going to ignore the email.
Yeah.
I messaged her and I was like, yeah, not a problem. Send me your email. I'll refund your tickets. Yeah. Just like that simple. And she's like, okay, thank you so much. She was like, I send you an email too. Just disregard that. But I was like, these people are crazy.
Like, I'm going to hold it against you for the rest of your life, actually.
I couldn't believe it. It was nasty. I mean, I don't think no one has ever spoken to me this way. I have never spoken to anybody this way.
But here's the thing. With those situations, you need those to happen. Yeah. Let me tell you why. So one of the things I always teach people is this. And this is just personal also. A lot of the things that happen in your life is because of the reaction, first of all, okay? Whether somebody's arguing with their husband or their coworker or girlfriend or road rage or whatever it is, your reaction is what dictates how long that's going to linger around with you, okay? So in your situation, whether it was a Yelp review or a partyplanner.com or whatever it is, those things right there was 1 or 2 or 3 opinions that speaks just negative for 400 or 500, but doesn't represent the other 397 or whatever it is. But it's the way that you react to it, okay? So that's the first thing to think about from now on. Am I really going to let 3 haters ruin my day, or was I just kind of upset for a few minutes? The second thing is the customer service aspect.
Right. Exactly.
Because regardless of, I don't care if you work at AutoZone and someone comes up and says, y'all sold me a battery, the blah, 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 and it blew up, and blah, blah, blah. First, how are you going to react? Second, how are you going to still take care of that customer?
Right.
Because a lot of times these customers really just want to be heard. That's all it is. They really just want to be heard. And they just want you to hear that they weren't happy, that they weren't whatever. I personally prefer to tell somebody in person rather than go blast it all over Yelp.
Right.
Or that's just my, because I'm old school. I don't really care about Yelp, or I don't care to leave Yelp reviews. I would rather talk to the manager or the person that can correct it within the organization rather than me feeling like I'm Mr. Badass for leaving it all over the internet.
Right.
But that does teach you a lot about customer service and how you're going to continue to treat other either negative customers or unhappy customers.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I mean, I thought about that. That was something I thought about, and that's why I didn't message that lady back right away.
Emotions are in
yes.
there. Yeah,
so I'm
know,
like,
me,
I need a moment. Let me calm back down.
Yep.
And I want to do this a smart way because I'm still representing myself. And it was on Facebook. So how I responded to her, people were going to see that.
Yeah.
So, of course, you know, I took the high road. I took the professional road. It was hard, but I think that I definitely handled it the best way that I could have.
Yeah.
And I wasn't nasty.
And,
yeah, absolutely. And I did try to help her, you know, like, oh, I'm sorry. I did try to give her some compensation for her tickets, which, like, you paid money, but that was a donation, really, because it was going to charity.
Yeah.
At the end of the day. But yeah, those are a couple things like on, I feel like a business level that I learned and, you know, having my own business, being an entrepreneur and throwing events to the public, like getting that feedback. That was hard for me. But I feel like it was definitely crucial. I had to experience that.
It the good thing also is it gives you something to talk about. And what I mean by that is also with your team, because you got to remember, volunteers, first of all, they don't work for you.
Right.
And if it's from another organization, they're kind of hooking you up. They just kind of get, okay, go help Candace. Okay, cool. Let's assume they're not getting paid. They're just being volunteers. Second, they don't have the drive to represent your brand.
Right.
Like a friend of yours or a paid employee does. So it's kind of like, they're just like,
whatever.
I'm just here for whatever.
Yeah.
But it's also about how do you train those people within just a few minutes that you kind of find out, oh, this is Michelle, Nancy, Tom, and Bob. Okay, all 4 of y'all, this is what you got to do for the next 2 hours. You have no clue what their personality is.
Right.
You have no clue how they're going to actually help people. Are they going to be standing there texting during the whole thing when they're supposed to be organizing the line for the dunking booth or whatever, dunk booth, whatever. So those type of things are things that you now, obviously, as you've done, 20 events now?
Yeah.
Over 20 events and growing, really.
Yes.
Things that you have to constantly look for. But the headache is also trying to be the manager while being the entrepreneur, while also figuring out if you're still the technician. And how do you actually say, okay, so so-and-so is supposed to face paint. They didn't show up. What do I do? Who's going to face paint now? Who knows how to do this within a minute?
Yep.
You know, it's little things that you grow as an entrepreneur, but
it's hard, like managing like all those hats, juggling all those hats.
Welcome to the party.
But it's fun.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's one of the things that has made me successful in being an event planner.
Yeah.
Is being able to make a quick decision, like analyze and okay, this is what we're gonna do. I got a solution. Let's do this. We're gonna do that.
And you know, one of the things that's funny, I had a client. This was last week. He has a gelato company. Okay. And one of the things that we were talking about, I got him, I don't want to say connected, but I told him where to go to because I didn't know the owner on this one. A guy that owns a very popular convenience store, okay? And he's got a gelato, sorbet, really fancy, really freaking good. And the guy, he thinks that his product is the best. It blows everybody out the water, blah, 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 blah. Okay? Everybody thinks their product is the best, okay? Until you get slapped in the face and someone tells you that it's not. So I think his stuff is ridiculously good, okay? My opinion. Not just because he's my client, but because it really is good quality. But he doesn't really know how to market it. He's a good technician, but not manager and entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Okay? Either way, I told him where to go to. He talked to the owner of this convenience store. He sends me a text. He's like, "You're not going to believe this." And I was like, "What happened?" He said, "There's nothing different about mine than everybody else's stuff." And this, and basically the owner of the store was just negative about the product that my client thinks is the greatest thing in the world. And regardless of how many hours he spends on the process, regardless of whether it was grandma's recipe, regardless of all that, you're always going to have people that will just realistically never be happy.
Right.
And you just have to let it go. And I have people also that tell me, they look at my rate for what I charge per hour, and, well, that's too expensive. I can go, that's fine. I'm not for you. And just FYI, that's the current rate. It's going up.
Yeah.
But it's okay. And I tell them straight up. That's okay, though. If I'm not in your price range, I'm sure you could probably find someone of less value. And I leave it like that. But I don't sit there and get upset where, man, so-and-so didn't want to pay me X amount of dollars. I don't care. I'm dealing with bigger things that I'm worried about rather than someone that wants to penny pinch me.
Right.
You know, so just my personal experience. So as of right now, name all the type of events that you've done and which ones for you are the most exciting.
Ooh.
'Cause I saw a video for a pool party. I was like, yo, it's pretty lit over there.
The pool party was crazy. The pool party was really wild. I'm actually working on another pool party.
Okay.
But Parties by Perez doesn't party at the same mansion twice. So I'm looking for a different place.
Baby doesn't sit in the corner.
So yeah, I'm looking for a different spot.
Okay.
I already have people that want to work with me on it. So I'm just looking for different places. So I've done lots of weddings, quinceañeras, which is kind of like a wedding.
Yeah.
For one girl, you know.
A single girl wedding?
Yes, it really is. I mean, the production is crazy.
I see.
So done a lot of those.
What do you prefer, though? What are your favorite ones, though, that you're like more eager to get them done rather than rather than everything you've done? What are you like looking forward to get booked? What are you like, oh, I can't wait for this?
Okay, so
honestly,
the family events.
Really?
Yes.
Why?
Because I feel like people are always searching for things to do with their kids here.
I see. Okay.
Yeah, and it's like, you know, it's the same thing over and over. It's like, okay, we have this, or this.
Do they spend more money or what exactly?
They spend more money.
Okay.
Because people have, I mean, I can sell more tickets because usually people have more than just one child.
Yes.
So it'd be buying 3 tickets versus just buying 1 ticket for this pool party.
I
so
see.
the pool party was just wild. So all my events is like a different part of me. So me, the mother, with the family-friendly events.
I see.
And
Okay.
me, the woman, with my women's brunch and retreats, which I probably will have another one this year.
Yeah.
And then the pool party was like, okay, well, I like to have fun.
Yeah.
So let's get crazy and let's have a good time.
I know.
So there was that.
I seen that video.
It was really
and I was like, you know what? I
good.
should have gone.
You should have
No,
gone.
I know because I seen it, and I was like, okay. But you got to remember, me personally,
Yeah.
I'm not a real, because I'm a little bit older and I got more things going on.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not much of a party guy. I mean, I'm glad that my friends don't even hit me up anymore. No, I'm serious. Because they
You don't have
already
to make
know.
up excuses for them.
No, I used to have to make up excuses.
Yeah.
And now they don't even hit me up because they know, hey, he's focused on this thing.
Mm-hmm.
He's doing this. He's doing that. Now, don't get me wrong. Every once in a while, man or woman, doesn't matter. You have to unwind and have a little
Absolutely.
social time.
Break away. Yeah.
Rather than just business social, but actually be a human being and enjoy life. So
Yes.
I'll have to keep looking at your stuff for. But real quick, I wanted to mention one of the things that I teach in my workshops. Okay, obviously you see here, HamidYaz.com. Anybody can go look at the pictures, videos, whatever. One of the things, I'm glad you brought it up when you were talking about the tickets, okay? There's 3 ways to grow any business. I don't care if you're doing parties. I don't care if you're selling hamburgers. I don't care if you have shoe store, dry cleaning, whatever it is. There's 3 ways to grow any business. Number 1 is obviously you need more customers. But you'll be surprised how many business owners do not focus on what I'm about to tell you. Okay. Obviously, because I have clients, I deal with them and they're like, well, we don't need to do any marketing. We're just so busy. I'm like, right now you are. Wait till another coffee shop opens up across the street.
Yeah.
And they're popping on Instagram and nobody's coming to y'all anymore. Who cares if you were on the right side of the road? It's easier for traffic. People will make the turnaround to go to somewhere else if they can get the coffee for 25 cents or whatever it is. But anyways, number 1 is you need more customers. So obviously you went from an event venue that held, I think you said 100,
Yes.
to now being able to hold 7, but I think you sold 450, right? Obviously, financially, it was better for you because you sold more tickets.
Right.
So that is kind of like you're getting more customers. The second one is increase the frequency of the visits. Now, I'm going to ask you this. Whenever people go to your events or however, they come, the information that they give you, whether it's text or phone number or email, do you have a database to where you use that to market back to them for something else?
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
Yes.
So I'm glad you're doing that because then that obviously is number 2 to where you can keep them coming back because they can come to multiple events that you have. And the third one, is exactly what you just kind of said in another way, was increasing the size of the transaction. So when you're looking at an event, let's say it's a pool party, we'll just say that's, I don't know, $20 to get in. Let's say straight above the board, across the board, $20. And remind me, because I want to ask you your opinion on something I just read not too long ago. And it was about some party throwers in Detroit. I don't know if you heard about this.
Not yet.
But I want your opinion because I was blown away.
Okay.
So increasing the size of the transaction is, like you said, somebody might have 2, 3, 4 kids. They might bring dad. And if it's an event that might cost $10 to $20, you're now multiplying that by 3, 4, 5.
Right.
So that you get. So keeping in mind the kids event, family events, like you said, maybe have more, make them bigger, and now bring more, bring your neighbors, bring the cousins, and increase the size of that transaction. But check this out, okay? I think it was called Afro Soul. I don't remember the name of the people.
Yes.
It's in Detroit, okay? They threw a party. It was like a music type of venue, concert type of thing.
I think they have something here too, Afro Soul. That sounds very familiar.
Okay, I don't, but I don't think they're connected with the ones from Austin.
Okay.
Or Afro Future or something like that, okay? But look it up and you'll see what I'm talking about.
Okay.
So they were charging, okay? And I know there's an early bird price and a regular price, but let's just say the regular price. People of color, this is no lie, okay? They put this on Eventbrite and then they put it on their on
the flyer.
I believe it was a black-owned party crew or team, whatever. People of color pay $20, okay? People of non-color were paying $40, okay? And they were saying, and this was on their website and on their Eventbrite, because of the inequality of pay and because, according to them, okay, keep in mind this, according to them, that black people make less money, so they can't afford a $40 ticket, but people of non-color have higher wages, so they can afford a $40 ticket. Obviously, there was mixed reviews. Some people are like, yeah. Some people are like, that's horrible.
Well, the people getting those tickets for $20 are like, yeah.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. So, but what happened was one of the artists, I believe she was a rapper, I can't remember, or singer or rapper, I can't remember. She was mixed. She was half black, half white.
Okay.
So she said...
You pay 60.
yeah, basically.
You gotta be both.
Well, she pulled out of the event. She pulled out to perform because she said, this isn't right. I have family that's white. I have family that's black.
Yeah.
My family shouldn't have to say, well, how come he pays double, she pays half, or whatever. So obviously, so many complaints went to Eventbrite. So what Eventbrite did, because it's got national attention, just FYI, what Eventbrite did was they send the organizers a statement saying, we don't discriminate against, gender, social class, whatever. It's in the terms of agreement and whatever. If you guys don't make it across the board where everybody pays the same, then we're going to not even let you be on our platform.
Wow.
So guess what those people did? they folded. So they had to change everything on Eventbrite, but they didn't take down the description of why people would be paying different, just because I looked. And on the ticket prices, were just across the board, but the ones that were supposedly people of color, they just put no longer available. But it was like a $20 pre-sale and I think $40 for everybody. But what are your thoughts on something like that as somebody who does this?
I'm thinking, how do they... Like, how do the people... I mean, I would just buy a $20 ticket, even if I was white. Like, they don't know. I'm buying it from Eventbrite. How would they know?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. But
I think that's very bold. I think
but look at what I'm telling you, and you'll see what I'm saying. And
I'm going to look it up.
Google
that
it,
is
you'll
insane.
You'll see what I'm talking about.
I would never do anything like that.
To me, it's crazy, to be honest with you.
That is insane. That is just... That doesn't make sense. I mean, I feel like that is, you're asking for trouble.
Yes, and especially at the front door, because I'm sure they're going to be selling tickets at the door also.
Yeah. I mean, I've done pricing where it's early bird, GA, and VIP.
Yes.
But if you have money, you can be VIP, whatever race you are. I will take your money.
Yellow or green or yellow and
exactly.
green.
All of the above. So, but wow. I don't know. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, and when I first saw it, I was like, this can't be real.
Yeah, I mean, did it say people of color?
Yes. It said POC. I promise you, when we're done with this, you look it up. POC, people of color, and then it said non-POC.
I think people would be outraged.
Well, once again, it was very mixed reviews, because keep in mind, you do have people that are, F them people, blah, 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 we should pay less. But then but they said there was supposedly a bunch of white people that said, I would be more than happy to pay double because of what our people did to your people. And so once again, it's mixed reviews either way. I was just curious what you thought about that, but it's crazy. Right?
I want to know how that party went.
Yeah, I don't.
Do they have a video? Do they have a recap?
I don't know, but I think their Facebook was shut down.
Yeah,
because I went to their Facebook to try to look, and it was temporarily down or whatever. But the Eventbrite was still up in public.
Wow. So you could still buy tickets for the event.
Yeah, but you couldn't buy the people of color or non-color, whatever crazy ticket.
So what do they end up doing with the ticket prices?
Oh, they made it all the same.
Okay.
Yeah, but the ones that said the options to buy were still there, but it just said no longer available or not available or no longer available, something like that. Really, really interesting. Yeah.
I think that's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I think that was a bad move.
Oh, I think so too. But keep in mind, some people are so gung-ho about their cause and their agenda. They don't care who they offend. They might think their thing is right. And this doesn't matter whether it's a religious group or a social group or whatever it is. If they say, this is what we do, this is how we do it, then more power to them. To me, if it's something, and everything's controversial nowadays, and you can't even say anything anymore without offending people. That's why I always... even if I see a woman, I don't even say something about your husband because what if she's lesbian?
Right.
So I'm like, but I don't want them to think that I'm implying that they're a lesbian or LGBT.
You can't win either way, honestly.
Yeah,
it's
that's why I'm just very careful
do.
before I open my big mouth. So where do you plan on? Okay, before we get into that, actually, what is something that's going on right now, marketing wise, or strategies that maybe you're having issues with, or you're like, I'm confused, how do I do this? Or
well, okay.
Because maybe I can help.
Okay.
While you're here.
Yeah. Well, I don't like posting the same events.
Okay.
Over and over and over, like all the pictures from the same event. So I just maybe want to post like 2 or 3.
Okay. Well, we'll clarify what you're saying. So let's say you have an event on September 1st, right? Event is September 1st. Obviously, you're hyping it. What you should be doing is hyping up for at least 30 days.
At least, yeah.
Building up to the event on September 1st. Do you have a standard time, more or less, that you do all the recaps of that event after September 1st? Or how does that work?
So, so I would say about 6 weeks before is when I'm going to start pushing, marketing to get the best response and to really get it out there. But after the event, so... For previous events, we always go live and we're posting like on our stories all day long, like throughout the event. And then afterwards, I would say for maybe like the next week, like maybe every 2 days, I'll post like 1, 2, and 3 pictures of that event on my Instagram.
Yeah.
On my Facebook, I usually will just pour all the pictures in there.
Okay.
So I would say.
But is it like you dump them all, or is it selectively? How do you do it? Because see, that's where.
Well, on my events,
tricky.
I get a photographer. So it is select then. It is select for sure. So it's.
But not 30 pictures all in one day get dumped out, or yes?
Yes.
That you have to be careful with.
Yeah.
Because what's happening is you're giving away all the goodies, and then you're like, oh, shoot, 4 days later, what do I post now?
Right.
And you ran out of stuff because you dumped it all.
Well,
You're so eager to dump it out.
Yeah.
I know it's happened. It's like a good example. When you see a lot of these girls that aren't really professional models, but they're Instagram models, but like, I don't want to say lower tier, not as popular.
Yeah.
And this is back going to the MySpace days. They'll get one picture, or they'll go to a photographer. The photographer will give them the raw images, which is the first mistake, okay? He'll give them the raw images, and the girl will start pumping it out all over Facebook or MySpace or nowadays Instagram.
Yeah.
And they're not even edited photos, and literally the entire photo shoot just got leaked out. And it's like, yo, you took 200 photos, you only needed like 2 or 3, but she was so eager to just pump them all out, and now she doesn't have nothing else, and plus the quality's bad too.
Right.
So that's
I guess I do both, honestly. So with my Instagram, I'm more select. Like, okay, we're only going to post 2 or 3 pictures from the event. That's it.
Your feed is valuable real estate.
Yes.
Your feed. Because like me personally, I post 1 to maybe 3 times a day. There might be in a week, I might post 2 or 3 photos or videos that are kind of like, whatever. But for the most part, I've now become more selective on what I post because it's kind of a valuable feed.
Right.
So you look at Facebook a little bit more lenient?
I do.
Okay.
I guess because I feel like my following is a lot larger on Instagram.
Okay.
And it's user friendly. I mean, from my own experience, like I prefer Instagram whenever I'm looking at friends' pictures. On Facebook, it's so much different. So I don't mind just putting all the pictures from the event in one album for that event.
For Facebook. Okay,
right.
I see.
For Facebook, but for Instagram, I definitely am more selective. So I guess like not feeling like I have enough content, because it's not like I'm doing an event every week. It's like I'm planning, I'm working on things, so I don't want to just throw out random like stock photos. I want to use real photos, but I don't want to use a photo from my old event. Like I don't know. I feel like coming up with like content.
It's perfect. I'm gonna tell you why. You're constantly creating content. You're just not capturing it.
I guess so, yeah.
That's exactly what it is. And I'm going to tell you why. If you're on the phone with somebody, that's a picture that you need to take, believe it or not. If you're at Party City looking at whatever, talking to an employee, or you're there just randomly looking at the aisle for the luau section or whatever it is, capture that.
It's a part of the process.
It's a part of the process because here's the thing. Don't wait just until that actual event, okay? Don't wait until the actual event happens to post out recaps of the event. Also, the creative process leading up to the event. Because it's easy to just market, which is the flyer, or the video. That's easy. But then you start looking at your feeds and you're like, wait a second, that's all it freaking is.
Yeah.
But by you documenting the creative process, whether it's a picture or a 10-second video, that's all you need. Because now you have different pieces of content, and it goes to becoming creating multi-platform content. So you might have certain parts of the creative process for Instagram, but on Facebook might be totally different from like a different angle, or you with so-and-so. And that's obviously what a lot of people get wrong, where they say, now I can understand if it's a flyer that you're pushing, that's different. But what I see a lot of people do is the same exact post that they put on Facebook, they put it on Instagram, they put it on Facebook, they put it on this, they put it on that. But if I'm doing an interview with somebody, or if I'm doing a talk somewhere, I'll get 1 minute for this, 3 minutes for this, 2 minutes for this, use this screenshot for this, and I chop it up so many different ways for different platforms. So maybe something to look into, to where you're constantly having something different in regards to that actual event, rather than just the same, just dumping everything out and kind of the same thing. Because I'm sure you roll with some friends that could help capture moments or set up a little tripod, put the phone on the tripod, just get that kind of thing. And that's really all it is.
I definitely post more on my stories, so I try to like make sure I post something every day. That way, my face is right up there at the top of everybody's screen, all my followers. But yeah, and also it's time consuming. So I'm like, shit,
welcome to entrepreneurship.
I know. It's like trying to juggle a million different things.
It is, and then you're a mother with 2 kids.
2 boys.
With 2 boys, yeah. It's how it
and
goes.
it's summertime, so it's just hectic.
Yeah.
Yeah, getting this one to summer camp, this one over here, this one to swimming class, this one over here. Well, now we have to go spend time, and now we have to do mommy stuff, and yeah, it's tough.
But here's the thing that I want to ask you is, how can I say, is there somebody like you, married, boyfriend, whatever, I don't know your situation, okay, but you have 2 kids, has someone been able to pull it off and take it to a fantastic level that you've seen?
You mean someone that's doing what I'm doing?
In your situation where you have 2 kids, and I'm sure there is, right? I'm sure there is.
I'm sure, yeah.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is, there are people that still have 2 kids, 3 kids, 4 kids. It doesn't matter, and they're still making it happen.
Absolutely.
So I'm not saying you're being negative about it, but what I'm saying is there is light at the end of the tunnel. I was with a gentleman the other day, a vice chairman of a very reputable Texas organization, and I was telling him that I was a high school dropout. And he's like, because he asked me, well, where'd you study? I'm like, study what? And he's like, marketing. And I said, freaking study? I dropped out of high school. And he's like, what? And he said there was a woman, she has a multi-million-dollar national HR firm, okay? Single mom, 2 kids, okay? I don't know if she's single now, but she was a single mom.
Yeah.
Single mom, 2 kids. Then she opened up a restaurant and then this. And woman she's banking, okay?
Yeah.
She was sitting down with the guy that I was talking to, and she was telling him how she's embarrassed. And he said, "You're embarrassed about what?" She said, "I don't have a college degree." And he's like, "Who freaking cares? You're rich."
Right?
But in her mind, because of the people she
that
does
held her
business
back.
with,
Mentally.
Yeah, mentally, that was her thing. Like, I don't have a degree like these people. Who cares?
Right.
And I'll be honest with you. I mean, you can go look up my stuff on the internet or what I put out. And what I'm going to continue be doing, I owned a business for 4 years, okay? I'm making money. Now, doing my thing, making money. In the past 5 years, actually in the past God knows how many years, nobody has ever asked me, other than him, where did you go to school? Where did you graduate from? What's your GPA? Nobody cares. As long as you can pull off what you're doing, party planning and taking it bigger, and because corporate people, just FYI, they pay bigger checks.
Yep.
And as long as you become buddy with the person that cuts the check, you can get a lot more out of them. So don't ever look at anything like that as
I agree 100%. I mean, I am a single mother.
Okay.
And I don't feel like, poor me.
Yeah.
Definitely not. It doesn't. I mean, if anything, my kids, they like to help. And that's one of the reasons why I prefer the family-friendly events.
Yeah. Because
they get to be a part of it. And they really like that.
And as they get older, they become more useful.
Absolutely.
It's hard when they're 4. I don't know how old they are now, but
4 and 9.
Oh, 4 now. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, when they're 9, it's easier a little bit kind of when they're 9, but when they're 4, it's like, you're kind of getting in the way. Yeah, no, serious. Yes. You're in the way as compared to actually being of utilization type of thing. But yeah, I'm glad you get my vibe. You see
I
what
totally
I'm talking about.
do. And I don't believe that you need to have a college degree to be successful.
I agree. Yeah, you're right.
I mean, I'm a big advocate of that. I mean, I always tell my son, like, you're going to go to college. But I kind of wish I had that experience.
But, okay, let me ask. No, go ahead, and then I'll tell you why.
But mostly for, like, the partying. Not so much for the education. That'd be cool, too. Yeah. But, I mean, I feel like that's a cool experience to have. Like, to leave home for 4 years and, like, to go be on your own while you're still kind of being taken care of, like
study abroad. I mean, even if it's so here's
that's the thing. That's scary. That's a little too far.
I got a friend right now. His son is in Spain.
Oh my gosh.
Literally in Spain. But check this. So now I got a question. We got about 5 more minutes. But I got a question for you because I have a 21-year-old son. Okay, so we've had these type of conversations. Do you want your son to go to college because it's did you go to college, by the way, or?
I dropped out when I became an optician.
Okay, no, that's fine. So, do you want him to go to college and complete it to fulfill something that you didn't complete? Or is it where for him to go party? Because I don't think it's the party part, to be honest.
And not the party. A little bit of both. Like,
Okay.
always want him to have something to fall back on. Like, okay, well, I have this skill, I have this trait. But I also feel like it probably helps you. Probably helps a guy to see, like, well, what do I really like?
True.
When you're 18, like, you don't know what you want. I wanted to be a teacher. It's like, and then I started
you're teaching people how to party now.
True.
Hey, turn
Yes.
up.
No, I wanted to be a math teacher. I wanted to teach algebra, and like that was my dream. Like since I was little. And that's what I wanted to do. I started going to college for that. Well, I started making more money being an optician. So I'm like, well, why am I going to go to college and spend money and get myself in debt, like to get paid less money than what I'm making now? And then, I mean, that I've mastered. It's like, that's really not my calling. Like, this is my calling. So I feel like, I honestly feel like for the experience, for the networking, for the experience, I think that's amazing for the growth that it gives you. And I think it takes a lot of courage to go to college because one of the reasons why I didn't go anywhere was like I was too scared. I'm like, I don't leave my family. I'll be by myself. Like, and so I think
get your confidence up. It's true.
So I feel like it's awesome for growth and development, and becoming independent.
Okay.
But I mean, like I said, like if he decides he wants to be an artist somewhere, like go do your thing. Like
an artist
whatever
on
makes
6th
you
Street
happy.
with spray paint, making lunar eclipses, right? With spray paint on 6th Street.
Whatever makes
with
him
the music
happy.
blaring on it on Friday night.
He could totally do that too.
That'd be cool though too.
He's super artistic,
As long
very
as-
creative. He's definitely something in the arts. That's him.
Okay, now to close it out, obviously there's a lot of people listening. There's people that look up to you because you're actually doing something rather than just talking about something. Me personally, I hate the people that are just talk. I like to rock with doers. People that are moving and shaking, okay? Regardless of whether you're high level, low level, the number one step is to get going.
Right.
Okay? So what closing words of inspiration or knowledge or something you want to pass on to somebody? It could be someone that's might be another single mom that has 4 kids or 3 kids or 1 kid and feels like, well, my kids are my ball and chain. I can't do nothing because of my kids. Or maybe it's an 18-year-old guy or girl that says, hey, that sounds kind of dope. I want to do that.
Yeah.
In just 1 or 2 minutes, what are some things some game to give somebody else?
Okay, let's see. One, I would say you got to be humble. Like humble enough to ask for help. Or to try to understand something if you don't understand. Like you don't want to just go off and do something like, oh, I can do this on my own. Like be humble enough to ask for help when you don't understand something or when you need help. You just kind of like have to get over that fear of failure. Like, it's always a scary risk doing something that you haven't done before. Like, am I going to be good at it? Are people going to like me? Are people going to be behind me and follow me? And I would just say, like, just do you. Be humble, do you. Stay passionate about what you believe in.
True.
Don't ever compromise your ethics.
Okay.
And
especially as a female.
Absolutely.
Especially the female in the in an industry that could be, I mean, typically the people that cut the check are male or female on your end.
It's both.
Oh, so 50-50 maybe?
It's 50-50,
And I personally know how some boys like to be bad boys, and they see a female that needs the opportunity to do something. So I'm assuming maybe by what you're saying is don't compromise your ethics. Could be something like that. Like don't fall for the trap. Is what I'm saying.
That for sure. And know when to walk away. I mean, I've come across that a lot. Like, oh, hey, let's work together. And my mind is not thinking like, oh, I'm going to work with you because I like you. No, I want to work with you because I like your business.
Money.
Exactly.
Money.
Not because like I'm interested in you like at all. Just because I'm being friendly doesn't mean I like you. Like,
exactly.
In an intimate way. So I've kind of gotten that a lot. But it's not a big deal. Like it's never been a big issue. I know how to be like, no, it's okay. Like, but let's do this instead. Like, what are you talking about? You're silly. I would say network a lot. Like be around people that you want to be like.
Yes. And
people that are better than you, people that are, talented in different ways that you need to have.
I see.
Yeah. Networking and being true to yourself and staying focused on your passion.
Very good. Very good. And you heard it here first. The Heat Tank with Candace Perez, Party by Perez. Everything is on the screen. Make sure to check her out. And if you like what she does, if you like the way she moves, and now that you actually know the story and her passion and drive for it, make sure you hit her up. This has been another episode of The Heat Tank.
Awesome. Love it.